What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video, and back with another Hobbit video. I do have a couple of your requests that will be sprinkled in here soon, but I've got today Tom, Bert, and William, and much as I promised, this one is on the lower budget end. In fact, it could qualify for Magic for the Working Class, this series where we make deck techs for under $100, coming in at $95.91. Alrighty, so before we get into that, if you like my daily deck techs, if you like Magic for the Working Class, some of the discussion content I've been doing, or anything else in between, feel free to subscribe. You don't have to, it's just if you feel I've earned it, and only if you feel I've earned it. I'm very particular about that, right? I just don't want to do the content creator thing of don't forget to like and subscribe, smash that notification bell, feed that algorithm. None of that crap, because I don't like hearing it, just if I've earned it. Now, without further ado, let's get into Tom, Bert, and William, shall we? Tom, Bert, and William. They're the trolls from The Hobbit. If you've read the book or watched the movie, you know that these three trolls capture the party, they argue, blah, 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 and they end up turning to stone. Spoiler for anybody who hasn't read the super old book or watched the movie. But in game, they're a 5/5 for 5 Golgari, and they have pay 1, sacrifice another creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard a card. When Tom, Bert, and William die, if they were a creature, return them into the battlefield, and they're an artifact. And makes it so they're no longer a creature. Gives you reminder text for it. Now, admittedly, this card is probably much better in the 99 than it is as a commander. However, what I'm going to do with it today is they're going to be a sacrifice outlet to draw a bunch of cards, and then we have cards like Zoo Ifrit, etc. to help reanimate and bring things back, and we're going to have these big stupid creatures. A lot of them do have some downside, and they're just going to be used to draw cards. But let's see how we can do today, shall we? So we have 23 creatures as a pretty good amount. We have Baloth Prime. This creature enters tapped with 6 stun counters on it, and whenever you sacrifice a land, create a 4/4 green beast creature token. You can also pay 4 to sack a land and you gain life. Now, this is one of those creatures where the stun counters are a huge downside, and so we would want something like this out. Zoo Ifrit Osteoharmonist, which I'm going to show you the alternate art for this card because I cannot sing its praises enough. That this art right here is probably one of my favorite arts in all of Magic the Gathering. It goes hard. And Ashley Mackenzie did an amazing job. If anybody knows, like, if the artist has like a Twitter or something, I would just like to tweet at them the amount of appreciation I have for the art on this card. It is phenomenal. But back to the actual card. It's a 2/3 for 3. You tap and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types, and it has no abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. So Baloth Prime here would just be a big old 10/10 skeleton, and that's something that I can get behind. Then we have ourselves Bebop and Rocksteady. Whenever Bebop and Rocksteady attack or block, sacrifice a permanent unless you discard a card. One moment, friends. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I have once again been gifted the toy elephant by my daughter. Also, elephants are cool and awesome and should be protected and conservation efforts funded for them. But when Bebop and Rocksteady attack or block, sacrifice a permanent unless you discard a card. Discarding a card is fine because we have ways of getting other stuff back. It's also a 7/5 for 3, right? Just start bebopping people, okay? Sounds like a fun time. We have Daemogoth Titan. When it attacks or blocks, sacrifice a creature. Again, not going to be too bad, right? You can always sacrifice one of your other giant chunguses and then draw cards off of other stuff and then attack with a 11/10. We do have some mana dorks in here with Elves of Deep Shadow, Elvish Mystic, Findorn Elves, Llanowar Elves. I do count Sakura Tribe Elder as a little dorky dude. There you go. Those are our little mana dorks. I did throw Ghalta Primal Hunger in here because it's cheap Ghalta. Cheap Ghalta is, it costs X less, where X is the total power amongst creatures you control. If you're reanimating like a Damogoth Titan, you can drop down this 12/12 for 2 green mana. Not bad to have a 12/12 for 2. Gives you another target to sacrifice, or this can become one of your beat sticks to win the game. We have Gerard, Golgari Lich Lord. Gerard gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Hey, top score here. Sack another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to the creature's power. Again, this is so honestly, let's be real for a minute. He'd probably be better as the commander than Tom Burton William, but we're going with Tom Burton William today. So think of him as the backup commander. One moment, friends. Had to save my daughter. She doesn't like our orange cat too much, and so had to escort her by Musashi. Musashi is the name of our orange cat, and then we have another cat named Yamato. Bonus points if you guess what they're named after. But we talked about Gerard. You can also sacrifice a swamp and a forest to return him from your graveyard to your hand. So you got options there too. We have Genova at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put a number of 1/1 counters equal to Genova's power and up to one other target creature. Creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types, and whenever a mutant you control dies this turn, or during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. So a fun thing you could do, say for example, is beginning of combat, put a 1/1 counter on the old Ghalta here. Ghalta attacks for 13, and then you sack Ghalta with Tom and Bert, and you're going to draw 26 cards and discard a card. There you go. Lots of cards. And then discard a bunch of those to the graveyard, and then reanimate them, right? We have Junji. When it dies, each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. You get to choose one of these, by the way. Or put a non-dragon creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and you lose 2 life. We have Calaxion, Hunger Tyrant. 7/2 for 3. It does nothing. It's a 7/2 for 3. It's one of the Muraganda legends. So Muraganda is a plane famous for its big giant creatures that have no abilities. We have Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. He's a 3/6 for 4 menace, and whenever you sacrifice Kingpin or another creature, create 2 treasure tokens. This ability triggers only once each turn. Lord of Extinction. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. Pretty good, solid for this deck, especially if you say draw 26 and have to discard a million cards. Lupine Prototype. This creature can't attack or block unless a player has no cards in hand. Let it die, bring it back. Rotting Register. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. We don't mind that. Scrawling Crawler. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player loses 1 life. We could also probably put in something in here where if we draw cards, they lose life. But if our opponents are going to be drawing as well, it's just a little helpful thing to ping, right? I could probably throw in another dorky dude. But yeah, there you go. We have Shakedown Heavy, Menace, and whenever Shakedown Heavy attacks, defending player may have you draw a card. If they do, untap Shakedown Heavy and remove it from combat. So they can give you card advantage to remove him from combat. Slumbering Trudge enters with a number of stun counters on it equal to 3 minus X. If it entered with a stun counter on it, tap it. I mean, honestly, you could probably bring this in without stun counters. Also, its art is absolutely beautiful. I really like the art on this card. We already talked about Zuifit. Yargle and Multani, an 18/6 with no abilities, and then just Yargle by himself is a 9/3 with no abilities. Look at him, he's a big old frog spirit. For sorceries, we have some ramp and Flare of Cultivation, Cultivate, and Circuitous Root. Flare of Cultivation, of course, lets you sacrifice a non-green creature rather than pay its mana cost, which is always good. We have Dread Return to bring back some creatures to the battlefield. We have Rise of the Witch King. Each player sacks a creature. If you sacked a creature this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have Persist, so you can sack a creature and it comes back with a neg1. That's fine. Do that to Yargle and Multani. Oh boy, it then says 17/5. And then Living Death. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all the creatures they control. Then they put all creatures exiled this way onto the battlefield. This is a very strong card and very good to get all these things back. We also have Unearth. You can return target creature card in your graveyard with mana cost of 3 or less to play, which, we have a couple, right? We have a couple in here, like Rotting Regisaur, we have this, Shakedown Heavy, etc. For instance, we have a million of these abilities, like Abnormal Endurance. And all of these will be various niche takes on the same ability, which is when the creature dies this turn, return it to the battlefield. So Abnormal Endurance, Fake Your Own Death, Feign Death, Not Dead After All, Undying Malice, Undying Evil, Supernatural Stamina, all do the same thing. Then we also have Infernal Grasp, Go for the Throat, Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, Putrefy, Overkill for removal. And then we have Village Rites, Deadly Dispute to let us sack creatures to draw us cards. And then we have Harrow for some ramp. For artifacts, we are running Sol Ring, Golgari Signet, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Resistance. And we are also running this new card from Strixhaven, Cauldron of Essence. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses one and you gain one. Sacrifice a creature, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can get rid of one of the poopy doopy creatures and get one of the bigger, better, stronger, faster ones back. But, you know, another sacrifice outlet. Enchantments, we have Garruk's Uprising. If it enters and you control a creature power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. That's very good because a lot of these don't have trample and you don't want your Yargle and Multani to trip over a Llanowar Elf or a Goblin token. And then whenever a creature of power 4 or greater enters the battlefield and you control, draw a card. Pretty good. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain a life and draw a card. Grave Venerations. When it enters, you become the Monarch at the beginning of your end step. If you're the Monarch, return one creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses one and you gain one. We have the Greater Good. The Greater Good. You sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to sacrifice creature's power, then discard 3 cards. Gutter Grime. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a slime counter on Gutter Grime. Then put a green ooze creature token onto the battlefield with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of slime counters on Gutter Grime. I love this card. I play it in one of my decks. And it is, it's fun. You just, you know, you ooze all over people. Lands have high market to help us with more sacrifice stuff. You sacrifice something and gain 1 life. Other than that, it's a bunch of the cheap Golgari lands, some basics, and a command tower. But yeah, that's what we got for the build. Let's go ahead and see how Moxfield will treat us today, shall we? Zoom out by 1. Alrighty, we've got a 3-land hand and a mana dork on turn 1. Holy cannoli, this actually is not a terrible hand. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and drop Vintorn Elves. Next turn, we're going to drop a swamp. Actually, I'm going to tap for double green. And I'm going to play Golgari Signet. I then am going to return the force to my hand to play Golgari Rot Farm. There we are. Next turn, we still have this many lands in hand. I'm going to go ahead and play the Swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play Circuitous Route. And we're going to view our library. We're going to grab a Forest and a Swamp. Close and shuffle. These, of course, will enter the battlefield tapped. Next turn, I'm going to organize. I hate when my lands aren't organized. I do. I really, really hate when they, on Moxfield, when they don't all line up the right way. So we drew. For our turn, we got Genova. I'm going to put a Forest down. And I'm going to play Bert. I keep wanting to say Bert and Ernie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play the old Bert. Tom Burton William out here. He's a 5/5. He's going to do his thing. And we are going to pass turn. We're going to say during an opponent's turn, we are going to Abrupt Decay something. There we go. Next turn, we're going to drop our command tower. We are going to drop Genova. Genova's in play. We're going to move to combat. You know what? I'm going to add a counter to Bert. And we're going to attack with Tom Burton William. Tom Burt Bill. So we swing him for 6. We also have Feign Death. So if they try to kill it, we can always bring him back. But we don't need to right yet. Next turn. We're going to play our Talisman. We haven't drawn any of our big Chungus creatures yet, but we're going to go to attack step. And we are going to put a counter on Tom, Bert, and William, and we're going to swing in. And, you know, honestly, I've noticed when I've played this game, a lot of people do silly stuff where they will, they're not going to kill Bert, they'll kill the thing putting the counters on Bert. So we'll say during our opponent's turn, they try to kill Genova. We're going to play Feign Death. It will come back to the battlefield tapped with a 1/1 counter on it. Next turn, we go ahead and draw. I'm going to drop another swamp. And you know what? We're just going to bring in the beats for 9. And remember, we can always sacrifice stuff if we so want to. We can always drop a couple counters on Finhorn Elves as well. We have our first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play Jinji. So we have Flying Menace, and when it dies, put target non-dragon creature card from graveyard onto the battlefield. Each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. We are going to move to combat, and this turn, you know, just gonna boop boop. We're encouraging them to die, and we're gonna attack with Bert, and we're gonna say they kill Bert. They don't exile Bert; they kill Bert. We're going to have Bert come back as artifact, but whenever a mutant you control dies on your turn, draw cards equal to its power. So we're going to get to draw 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to play Bebop and Rocksteady. And we're going to play Shakedown Heavy. We still have 10 cards. We're going to get rid of Lupine Prototype. 1, a Swamp, 2, and 3 with Forest. And then we, you know, we get to have our turn. Draw a card. I'll play a High Market. And, you know, we're going to move to combat, and I am going to add 2 counters to Bebop and Rocksteady, and we have to discard a card or sack a permanent. I'm going to discard Baloth Prime. And then, you know, we'll bring in Jinji as well, and Shakedown Heavy. And we'll say that they let us draw a card to remove him from combat. And now we have Yargle and Multani. Then, you know, we hit. Things happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to play Yargle and Multani. And then we are also going to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to play Grave Veneration. So, of course, we become the Monarch. And at the beginning of our end step, if I'm the Monarch, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1. You gain 1. So then what we are going to do is we will get to draw at the end step with the Monarch. I'm also going to cultivate. View library. We'll put this swamp in hand, and we'll put this forest on the battlefield. Close and shuffle. There's that forest. Cultivate goes there. So we are the Monarch. We will view. Can I? All right. We will bring. Bring Baloth Prime to hand. And then we also get to draw a card for the Monarchy. So we have 7 cards in hand. Next turn, we draw. And I'm going to go ahead and go here. So, you know, Rocksteady's already like a 9. And so this turn, we're going to put 2 counters on Yargle and Multani. We're going to bring in our beats again. We had to discard a card. We'll discard Baloth Prime again. We go in and smash. And then if they kill Multani, or they kill Bebop and Rocksteady, I'm either going to get to draw 20 cards or 9 cards. It's a pretty low to the ground. Like, this is bracket too, right? But let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.